Hi, this is Ginger, and this Ginger's Chat Show. It's Monday, June 5th, and it's really sunny out here, a little bit windy. I just prefer a gentle breeze. I don't really like a hard going breeze, but hey, it's better than nothing. Um, anyway, I hope all is well and you have a wonderful weekend. And I don't know if you saw it. What was it, day before yesterday? Saturday. There was what they call a strawberry moon uh, that occurred, and it was really pretty. I could see it outside my bedroom window last night, and the moon was kind of peeking behind the trees there that's in front of my apartment complex. So, anyway, hi Dorothy! How are things in your neck of the woods in Florida? Um, I know you're not really thrilled because now last Thursday, the start of hurricane season, which you guys are now all that thrilled. Hey, Virginia! This is my soul sister. Anyway, I was doing some research on news and hearing a lot of things that's happening. Of course, it's now June is basically a indictment watch for he who shall not be named, and we all know who that is. Uh, I noticed he is not really concentrating on his campaign whatsoever. Nothing really happening. Um, I made sure that he is not on my feed here on Facebook, and also none of the thing on YouTube, none whatsoever. Um, so uh, he's in deep doo doo, legal wise. He dug himself such a deep hole, it's not even funny, and it's finally kind of catching up with him. Um, so, um, I'm sorry, my shoulder's really hurting today because I think rain's coming in the next few days. So, um, have to bear with me here. Anyway, the Jack Smith is wrapping up and getting with the um, grand jury in D.C. Um, wanting to indict Trump for stealing national documents, and they have a very, very strong case against him on that. And I do hope that when they do indict him, that not only he's arrested, but he is kept in jail, not allowed to go. Uh, should be kept there until trial, and not be allowed to campaign around the country or anything else because he's deemed a flight risk. And I don't care if at that time he was president of the United States. He's not my president. Never was. And he never really led the country. Okay? More like he played around. Um, I hope he's kept in jail. Now, from what they said, the tentative may be pushed up further, pushed to this year. Um, it'd be March of next year for that trial. Well, it may be pushed up further because of national security issues. So, I do hope that they throw him in jail and keep him there. And also throw him in solitary and not him any electronic access or anything. And only talk to his lawyers and cannot, communicate on Truth or Social or anything. In other words, he needs to be told to shut up. This guy won't shut up. He keeps yapping on his so-called Truth Social, which is really kind of an oxymoron there. His version of truth to me is like a bunch of version of lies is what it is. He's lying, he doesn't have the facts, he doesn't listen to facts or anything. He lies and he tries to twist everything. Yeah, I saw that. I just haven't time to read the article on that. I'm sorry. Uh, Allergies are ramping up. Um, yeah, I saw that. I'll have to. The Midas Touch has a video on that, so I'll watch that afterwards. After I do my chat show, because I want to get that information for Wednesday's thing. Now, well, speaking before I go on, let's see. Okay, I will be still doing my chat show on Wednesday. I have a doctor's appointment later on that afternoon to get the shoulder checked. So, I'll keep you guys posted on that. So anyway, so that's still going. Um, so if the lawyer, and it sounds like the lawyers were really forced to turn over everything. And if they find a law or a thing that Trump has violated, they'll be required to report it. Okay? Because if they don't report it, if lawyers don't report it, then lawyers will be found in contempt and they could be accessory to that crime. So, um, and Trump is not above the law. Well, we'll commiserate with each other, Virginia. If I position the shoulder in such a way when I'm propping my elbow up on the desk here, I get tingling up and down my arm. And I think I'm either pinching a nerve or pinching a vein. And I think the bone spurs decided to come back with a vengeance. Just about 2016, I had 5 bone spurs removed from this shoulder. And they, first it showed up as being 3, but when he got in there, he heard the shoulder snap when they were transferring me to the bed, to the operating table. Heard the shoulder snap, and it hurt. I didn't really have any control on the shoulder, and I go, that hurts. He goes, I heard it. So he went in and looked at it, and went in and did, when he did work on it, and discovered that there were 5 bone spurs that were tearing up my rotator cuff. This is what operates your shoulder. Here is your rotator cuff right here. And of course, needless to say, it wasn't really operational. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. He did warn me it could come back. Bone spurs can come back, and the arthritis could do more damage, and so they need to check on it. Okay, now with he who shall not be named, there's an indictment watch for that. Not only for the D.C., the national security docs that he did steal. Also, they did a raid on his Bedminster golf course there too. They're checking that out, trying to find it there. The rest of the docs there. Speaking of national security documents, Pence was not found liable because he reported those docs, and they go, well, like how they got there and everything, and he said, I don't know. He said, when I left office, I made sure everything was sent back for the president, for the Records Act. Oh, that's not good. I commiserate with you, dear. I really do. It's not fun when a part of your body doesn't work. But anyway, with Pence, he is okay. He is, like he said, he sent them back, reported them, sent them back. That's what he did. That's what he's supposed to do. And same with President Biden. He says, how those got there, I don't know either. and they're beginning to think it was planted. And my thinking, who could have planted it, is I'm not sure if it's it's just speculation that he who shall not be named planted them to get them into trouble, and then take their attention off of Trump. I don't know, but it didn't work. And both reported those missing documents and saying, "Hey, here they are," you know. So that's okay if they reported it. Okay. Um, but anyway, he had an indictment for that in D.C. Also, an indictment for the Georgia on the elections, federal election violation that he did in Georgia. So he's in trouble for that too. Oh, and also RICO Act. He committed some RICO Act in Georgia. Georgia does not like, mafia style type crimes committed. They don't like it at all. So we will see. But I hope he's in jail for it. Now, some of you may or may not remember. Those that are younger probably were not being born yet. Would remember, or you were too young to remember. Remember back in 1975 through 1985, or 1979 through 1985, there was a FBI agent by the name of Robert Hansen. Remember that? He sold secrets to Russia, and he was spying for at that time, Soviet Union, because Soviet Union did not come down, or the curtain did not come down until 1989. But in 79 through 85 is when it was still the Soviet Union back then. Well, he was spying for Russia, and he, took payment in diamonds, money, that type of thing, okay, for selling our secrets. Well, he was convicted for that for life, and he was sent to Supermax in Florence, Colorado, and he was stuck in a single cell, solitary cell. All the prisoners there are in solitary cells. They are not allowed to interact with one another. That's why it's Supermax. Anyway, he was found dead this morning in his cell. He was 79. And when he was convicted in 2001. I figured sooner or later he will die in prison. But, that's what happens when you commit espionage. And I do hope with Trump, when he's convicted, he'll be sent to Supermax in Colorado. In other words, out of sight, out of mind, out of hearing. I'm so sick and tired of his antics, if you will. The other thing I want to talk about is that the presidential campaigning will start heating up soon. Pence has filed this morning, he's filed his paperwork for President of the United States. He's filed for that. And the GOP sides are already crowded. And a lot of them are saying a lot of the donors are not going to support Trump. They don't want him. Because he's already a liability anyway, because of his legal troubles and what he's been doing. But be sure to, in both in your local, state, and federal level, study your candidates and make sure that they fit your, well, what your wishes and what you wish for in a candidate that represents you. Because you're the boss. And they need to be reminded that they're the boss. They're applying for a job and they're basically campaigning to interview. It's well, kind of a quasi interview, if you will. Um, so they're interviewing for a job. It's a very important one for either senator or representative or governor or secretary of state, state secretary of state, or attorney general, or any other mirror jobs to the federal one, from state to federal. And also, I think this happened on Saturday. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but on Saturday, the Texas state legislature has impeached Paxton, the attorney general there. They impeached him. They kicked him out of office because he was breaking a lot of Texas laws, and not only that, but federal laws. And yes, he's Republican, but um, there is some moderate Republicans that don't like the extreme MAGA thing. They don't like it at all. There are separate groups there in the GOP. We should not lump them all together. There are some that are moderate or well, same as the Democrats. You know, liberal, moderate, and then you have the extreme. We don't have very many extreme in our Democratic side. We have mostly liberal or moderate. Okay, but the GOP itself, or the Republican Party, we think now itself is pretty much dead. Okay, because Trump screwed it up. He messed it up. And the moderates, those that left, did not have the strength or the numbers to combat these mega idiots. Okay, that's what they are. They're idiots. Um, so we need to strongly suggest add two parties to the party system. You have the Democrats, you have the Independents, and then add another party to that is more closely aligned to the other two parties, and not make it just Republican and just Democrat. It should be two more parties. And the Federal Elections Commission needs to have more teeth and ban the GOP party altogether. They don't seem to have any good candidates whatsoever, good strong candidates, okay? Um, and then we need to get rid of the Tea Party aspect of it and get rid of the mega rats. Just kick them out. Said, no, we are not going to go for all this other crap. And I've forgotten what's. Good. Yeah, I like her. I really do. I like Elizabeth Warren. Um, Now, we know next year the two federal senators won't be coming back. They won't be running for re-election. That's Dianne Feinstein from San Francisco. She's not running again. And I think Nancy Pelosi won't be running again from the representative side. I don't think she'll be running because they want to spend time with family. Dianne Feinstein is fighting some health issues. And a lot of people were giving her a bad time because she was fighting those health issues. Well, she has no control over that. She had, her age, she's in her 80s, okay? She had shingles about a month ago, and she was in the hospital for it. And it was causing all kinds of secondary infections and everything to her. And finally, she was able to beat that, rest, come home, and then do her voting again and everything. But she stated that she's not going to be running next year. She wants to retire. And she did a good job. She retired. She will be retiring. She represented her state well. She did public service, and that's what she's doing is public service. The other thing that we need to push back on is telling both Congress and the Senate and say, look, guys, no lobbyists. You don't want corporate lobbyists in there. You will not take money from corporate lobbyists. That's bribery. And that should be against federal law. You cannot bribe a public official. That's a no-no. It's the same when you can't bribe a law enforcement official. You can't do that. So the same should apply in Congress. And corporate should not have the right to lobby in Congress. It should not be in the halls. The only people there that should be in the halls to talk to their senators and representatives are people like you and me. We could call them, we could flash them a note, email them, and say, hey, what about this or what about that idea? And their aides could talk to their bosses about that and say, hey, this person said, well, what about this idea? What do you think? And put that idea into a bill. Introduce the bill. The other thing that needs to be done, too, is go through all the laws on the books. Go through all the laws on the books, throw out ones that are no longer viable for today's environment, if you will. Social environment. And stop all this confusion, because there's some laws there that contradict each other, and they need to update those laws. Kick those out that are no longer useful, and keep the ones that are useful. That's what they need to do. In other words, need to do updates. Now, the other thing that happened also over the weekend, I'm going to do this real fast, is that President Biden signed into law the debt ceiling. That was passed by the House on Wednesday. Yeah, the House on Wednesday, and then Thursday the Senate voted on it, and then President Biden signed it into law on Saturday. And we don't have to worry about it for 2 years. The only thing that in there, that's right, Virginia, they should not be on Capitol Hill at all. They should be worried about running the businesses. And stop interfering with government functions is what they're doing. And that's why I think they're doing. They're interfering with government functions. Okay? Anyway, let's see what else. Well, I was going to say, and I lost my train of thought. I hate that when that happens. But anyway, we don't have to worry about it for 2 years. The only thing is the student loans. And why the GOP wants people still keep paying on student loans when they do the student forgiveness programs is beyond me. Why they just forgive the loans, revamp everything, and then start over. Okay? This time on the loans, no interest. Just a flat payment of the loan. No interest whatsoever. To me, interest to me is like gouging, is what it is. So they need to change that. I have not paid my student loans for 3 years because due to the COVID thing, and I was not called back to work or anything. My former part-time employer did not inform me that they did not renew the contract or anything. There was no communication, which is wrong of them. And so a lot of people just we're kind of basically dropped out of the job, which is fine because I don't want to be doing my demoing at Walmart. Walmart's been not taking very good care of their vendors. What they're doing, they're treating their vendors badly. So, okay, well, it's time for me to sign off. I'm gonna grab a bite to eat, and I will see you guys on Wednesday, and I'll keep you posted on my shoulder. Um, and just keep involved in politics. Keep getting involved in elections, supporting your candidates and everything else as much as you can. Of course, many of us, like you and I, are on a kind of a tight budget, and so we can only contribute as much as we can and do as much as we can. But we could do things by the word of mouth. That's why I'm doing this. My show is by word of mouth. Yeah, you too, Dorothy. Stay safe. I will see you guys on Wednesday. So be sure to insist, persist, and push back. And until we get this other mess out of the way, you know what I'm talking about. So, and I will post this on my YouTube channel. I'm up to 34. I'm checking again. Hi, Carol. I'm up to 34 subscribers, but I need to get up to at least 2,000 in order to go live with that and Facebook at the same time. I can't go live on YouTube yet, so. Alright. Don't worry about, just watch this later, and this will go, this will plug in, and be sure to share and tell other people about this, okay? I love you guys, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming. Okay, bye-bye.